Early English Books Online, or EEBO, is a database with over 125,000 English language books published between 1473 and 1700. The works include plays, broadsides, sermons, and more, helpful to literary scholars, historians, and other humanists. All the books include facsimile images, and about 40,000 have fully searchable text. EEBO is a unique resource because it facilitates access to otherwise unreachable rare books. It also provides access to multiple editions, which allows scholars to compare changes in text over time. Because EEBO texts are made from 20th century microfilm, the images are in black and white, and certain features of the originals are therefore lost, such as printing in red ink. Other aspects of these books, such as their size and bindings, are also lost. Since these aspects carry cultural meaning, EEBO is not a perfect substitute for the original books, but it does give scholars easy access to far more books than ever before. You can access EEBO through the library website. Find the website by using a search engine or pointing your browser directly to www.library.upenn.edu. First, type EEBO into the Franklin search box at the top. Then click on Connect to Resource for the entry for Early English Books Online. And finally, sign in with your PIN key and password if prompted to do so. In this video, we'll cover finding materials in EEBO, understanding variant spellings, and navigating search results. To get started, click on the link that says Search. As a researcher, you might search for materials in EEBO in a few ways. First, you might want to find a particular work, like the play Hamlet. You can do this either by using the title or author keyword field. When we type the word Hamlet as the title keyword, in addition to our expected results, we also pull up records that discuss hamlets, or small villages. There are a few strategies we can use to avoid irrelevant search results. If we add Shakespeare to the author field, there are now 13 records which represent different editions and adaptations of the famous play. See that they display in alphabetical order by author. You can also display by date or title. To change the way that results display, click on the drop-down menu next to Sort. You can also search by subject or by keyword. However, not all the materials have subject classification. Keyword searching looks across all the fields in the bibliographic entry and in the full text of materials that have been transcribed. As you search with keywords, it's important to keep in mind that spelling was not standardized in English before the 18th century. These variations in spelling were maintained in the searchable transcriptions. Fortunately, EEBO gives you an option to look for variant spellings. If a word's been spelled several different ways, a checkbox at the top allows you to retrieve results for all known spellings. For plurals, parts of speech, and different word endings, EEBO also allows you to include variant word forms in your search. If we search for ecstasy and click the checkboxes for variant spellings and variant forms, you can see that the search has picked up several different spellings of the word ecstasy. The first result spells the word with an X instead of a CS. So if we turn to the search results for ecstasy, we can see that each result has a set of icons to access the record, the images from the text, and the transcribed text, as well as information about where the keyword appears. First, we'll look at the icons and then turn to the keyword functions. By clicking on the first icon, a note card image, you go to the bibliographic record, which includes information about the edition, the author, and the subject of the work. By clicking on the camera icon, you get to the digitized images, which you can also download as a TIFF file. By clicking on the paper icon, you can access the fully transcribed text if it's available. The sections are divided by links that provide access to the digitized originals. You can always get back to your list of search results by clicking the Back to Results button at the top right. In a keyword search, at the bottom of each result is a section that shows the keyword in context. It tells you how many times the word appears and the line in which it appears. You can navigate through the keyword instances in the text by clicking on the link below the number of hits. To move between instances of the keyword, simply click on the arrow next to the word. You can also see which entry of the text the words appear in by clicking View Hits with Section Heading. This will allow you to more easily navigate to the part of the text that includes the terms you're researching. You should now be able to successfully locate text, search by keyword, and explore the transcriptions and images in the Early English Books Online collection. Because EEBO includes facsimiles of most of the surviving books printed in English between 1473 and 1700, it's an invaluable tool for researching the history, culture, and literature of the period. Researchers should be aware of what's not included in EEBO. In addition to not recording physical details, many early books have been completely lost. However, it remains the single best resource for understanding the print culture of the early Renaissance, and is frequently used by scholars of the period.